Hello, and welcome to RESIDE by Sothebys International Realty. I'm Eric Weinbrecht, your host and guide as we dive into the pages of RESIDE magazine to discover more about the incredible people, places, and brands featured within. Please be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to @Sothebys Realty on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube to experience incredible homes and stories from around the world. Without further delay, let's get started. Nashville is one of America's vibrant landmarks, and one with a heart fueled by a historic musical heritage. Featured in the latest edition of the magazine, I have the pleasure of being joined by Jessica Averbush, CEO of Zeitlin Sothebys International Realty. Hi, Jessica.
Hi, Eric. How are you?
I am well. How about you?
I'm doing great. We're having a beautiful sunny day in Nashville, so all is good.
Perfect. How is the market performing there? Are you seeing any kind of trends?
Absolutely. I mean, Nashville has been named, as I'm sure you're aware, as one of the IT cities. It is exploding in growth. And another thing we're really known for, which I think is very important, is we're named as one of the most friendly cities in the United States. And so it's a very special time here from a growth perspective. In terms of our market, we're growing. Nashville really is Middle Tennessee. And we are growing in every direction in this region. But we're also experiencing tremendous growth and revitalization of our urban core. And so a major trend in Nashville right now is if you go downtown, you will see cranes absolutely everywhere. And it's everything from large hotels to huge mixed-use office types of developments, and then amazing residential properties and high-rises that we just truly didn't have in the past. And now we've got many of them coming out of the ground. So it's a very exciting time in our real estate market. So it's really momentum is the word that I would use to describe our market and kind of the trends that you see throughout.
And I knew in the back of my head, I had a feeling you were going to mention those cranes. Every time I talk to somebody from Nashville, especially from Zeitlin, Sothebys International Realty, they always mention the cranes.
Yes, there is growth everywhere. And we had a lot of room to grow. And so now you're just truly seeing all the different aspects of our city, whether it's the arts, or business or healthcare, education. Everybody is kind of partaking in that growth. And so it's not just one niche of our city that's experiencing that momentum.
That's great. And speaking of that growth, Zeitlin Sothebys International Realty joined the brand in April of this year.
Yes. It was incredibly exciting to have this opportunity to be affiliated with truly the best of the best in terms of world-class service. And it's really exciting to be in a city like Nashville because people want to come to Nashville from all over the world. In fact, I'll tell a cute story. I met an owner of a Sotheby's in French Polynesian island just 2 weeks ago at a conference. And as you can imagine, I was pretty fascinated by the idea of living in French Polynesia and that island culture. And when I told him where I was from, I told him Nashville, Tennessee, his eyes got so round. He got so excited. He said, "Oh, Nashville, ooh, I want to visit there." And so we have that kind of allure and appeal, and it's exciting because when you're a part of an incredible network of real estate brokerages around the world, what we've found since we joined in April is they're all coming to town. They're all coming to see us. They want to have fun. They want to experience it. And they know people that are moving here, so they want to make that connection.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I think in the article you mentioned birthdays and bachelorette parties and bachelor parties. I believe Nashville has a nickname.
We do. We are the number one. We're the capital for bachelorette parties, and you can see and feel that the minute that you get here, if you fly, when you walk through our airport. So our airport used to be, a pretty typical airport. Now Number one, the sound of live music, as it should be, is what greets you when you get off the plane. And then whether you want to go to a wine bar or get a manicure, it's well suited for people who are coming in to have a fun celebratory weekend. And there's lots of bachelorette parties.
Yeah, I guess that would also explain the Nash Vegas, right?
Exactly. Yeah, people come here to have a really good time, and we show that to them.
So, other than the nightlife and the parties that are bringing people to Nashville, what else is really driving the culture there?
Well, culture-wise, obviously we've always been known as Music City. But what I think a lot of people don't realize, number one, it's not just country music. So there is so much industry with all the record labels that are here, and so much draw to the lifestyle of Nashville, that you see musicians from Justin Timberlake to, just a wide range of pop or other genres of music. In people in entertainment who come here. But the other piece that I think people maybe don't realize is just the rich cultural scene. So we have an unbelievable amount of ways for people to really have an amazing cultural experience here. And they range from very traditional, the Tennessee Performing Arts Center, where you can go see all of the off-Broadway shows that everybody enjoys. And then we have really innovative opportunities. We have a wonderful place called Oz, and it is a destination for innovative contemporary art experiences, both interactive, all mediums. Our Schermerhorn Symphony the building is known as one of the best acoustically in the world, and that draws, again, not just classical music, but all genres of music. Which is really incredible. We have art crawls once a month happening all over town in different neighborhoods. So it's just a very rich, vibrant art scene. In fact, just a couple years ago, we had a hotel opened up called the 21C Art Museum Hotel. And it is an incredible experience. If you're an art lover, that's definitely where you want to stay when you come to Nashville.
Like we mentioned a few times so far, the nightlife is the big scene, and that is the central point of the piece in the latest version of Reside. And a few locations, hotspots are highlighted. Let's talk about one or two of them. What's one on that list that really jumps out at you?
One is Patterson House. Patterson House is a wonderful place to either start or end your evening. It's a traditional speakeasy. It's very cool. It has a very exclusive feel, although they don't take reservations. So it's accessible to everyone, and it's a very intimate experience. And you're not just there to drink, you're there to really have an experience and taste these incredible craft cocktails made from ingredients like you've never experienced.
I think everybody has quite a packed trip ahead of them next time they head to Nashville. So thank you very much for joining us today and giving us a tour of your incredible city.
Oh, well, it has been my absolute pleasure. I hope everyone will come and visit us. There's something for everyone. And it's the most friendly city, so people they welcome you with open arms.
Thanks again to Jessica and Zeitlin Sothebys International Realty for joining us today. From the music halls and nightlife of Nashville, let's take a trip to New York City to see how one of the world's most renowned retailers is changing the landscape of home decor. The Barney's New York brand and their flagship store on Madison Avenue represent not only a pivotal piece of Manhattan's history, but also a cornerstone of the greater luxury world. Today, that world is expanding. Joining me is Tom Calendarian, Executive Vice President and General Merchandise Manager for Men's, Children's, and Home at Barney's New York, to tell us more about the brand's latest foray into home goods. Hi, Tom. How you doing?
I'm great, Eric. How are you?
I'm well. So tell me about a little bit about what's going on there at Barney's.
Well, we're really excited that we have this opportunity to create a new experience and an elevated experience for our home client, both the client who is the end user as well as the decorators, designers, and architects that come to the store looking for incredible gifts and beautiful home decor products.
Now, is this something that's considered familiar territory for you guys there, or is this really a kind of a brand new offering?
Well, the product dates back into the late 70s when the owner's wife, Phyllis Pressman, decided to create an emporium for fantastic gifts. And the original iteration of the business, she primarily focused on antiques. So we had beautiful lalique and baccarat and majolica. And in addition to that, it expanded with needing new and more product. So the obvious result was they developed a gift shop that was like no other. And as many people know, the Barney's cachet, it's an eclectic and very interesting concept of finding rare and exclusive products. So Mrs. Pressman built the basis of the business on trying to find extremely exclusive, special products that would be at the level of our client and would pique their interest. So as this business evolved, by the time into the 80s, by 1986, when the women's store opened, it was a full-blown gift shop with children's gifts and an infant department and a tabletop department. And it really became a mecca and an emporium for these kinds of special decor and high-taste products.
Has this experience always been in this special part of the building? In the piece in RESIDE magazine, there's a lot of talk about the Chelsea Passage, and it just seems like a very storied and a very historic space to kind of house this experience.
True. The brand name, the Chelsea Passage, was something that grew out of actually finding a space at the original store location at 7th Avenue and 17th Street. There were many buildings that comprised the total men's store at the time. And between two buildings, there was this great alley that they were able to open up and cover with a beautiful glass roof that created a skylight effect. And it literally was a passage between two buildings. So the name The Chelsea Passage stuck, and it became the brand identifier for this collection of products.
How did you guys go about choosing the artists and the talent to pair with in this new venture?
Not unlike our clients, we're always looking for something unexpected, and that is really the DNA of the brand. You probably know that about Barney's when you think about the fashion we carry. Why would it be any different when it comes to the interiors that we think about? So in that sense, it is part of our DNA. It's part of the way we think. It's our thought process in terms of how to cultivate the assortments and how to create a mix that's compelling, that will excite the customer. So it's very important for us to always come up with something surprising and new and to keep moving. And one of the things that we're always thinking about is how to animate that in the stores. And we've designated a space in the store. We call it our pop-up space. And it will consistently change throughout the year, every 2 to 3 months, and we'll have a different installation, which allows us to experiment, to test something, and hopefully find the next new great thing that becomes another core part of our business.
Where do you see this going in the future? What would you like to see accomplished in this venture?
I do think that Barney's New York Home is a great opportunity, mainly for our clients. And as we've evolved, the client is now sometimes the designer and the architect. And in many ways, the fact that they're using Barney's as a resource is very exciting.
Thank you very much for your time today, Tom. You could read more about Barney's New York Home and the location in the latest edition of RESIDE and on our website. And of course, if you're in the area, definitely stop by and see it with your own eyes. Thanks again, Tom.
Thank you, Eric. And don't forget to look at us on barneys.com.
Tom and his team at Barney's New York are continuing a long tradition of reinvention, one infused with art, culture, and a grand sense of creation. Speaking of art, last week brought Art Basel, one of the world's most talked about art events, to Miami. I had the opportunity to check in with Mai de la Vega at One Sothebys International Realty shortly before the event made its return. It's that time of year again. Art Basel is around the corner and ready to capture the city of Miami. With me is Mai de la Vega, founder and CEO of One Sothebys International Realty, to give us the ins and outs of Art Basel in Miami. Hi, Mai. How's it going?
Hi, how are you?
I am well. Thank you for joining me today.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Oh, anytime. So can you just tell me a little bit about the impact that Art Basel has when it comes to town?
It just creates a super exciting time. There's all kinds of parties everywhere. Everybody wants to jump on the bandwagon and be a part of Art Basel, which is so exciting for our city because the restaurants are busy and you see the best of South Florida during that time. You really do. Get great people from all over the world, all different cultures. And it's so exciting to see that, and to see the growth actually of how the city is enamored really with Art Basel.
Are there any exhibits or artists you're particularly excited about?
I'm always excited to see Tomás Saraceno's work. Saraceno is a wonderful Argentinian contemporary artist. He does large-scale interactive installations, kind of like floating sculptures. It's always fascinating to see the galleries, the actual exhibition at the center, and also the growth of the fairs that have very important artists, but somehow don't make it to the main convention center. All of the off fairs that they have are really quite interesting, from Pinta, which basically showcases a lot of the Latin American artists, as well as, Nada and on. They just have multiple off fairs that are just really interesting. Red Dot, just tons of them that are great to visit.
Finding the hidden gems.
Finding the little hidden gems, yes. You can find like this great Japanese artist that does small glass work. And, price is also that I think you've got the really serious collectors, and then you've got maybe some millennials and younger folks that are starting a collection and are doing their research and are looking for these hidden gems. So you find a lot of that in these small art fairs throughout the city.
It seems like it's catering to not just the seasoned collector, but like you said, also maybe the burgeoning one, the people that are looking to get into the art form of collecting.
Exactly. And I think that's also some of the purpose of some of the talks that take place during this time. Really encouraging everyone to participate and see art as something important in everyone's lives, and you can collect art at, they've got all kinds of price points. So it's really wonderful to see the community engaged in such great enthusiasm during this time period.
You mentioned again in the piece just kind of how important this event really is to the city of Miami. And I don't want to give away all of the great tips and tidbits that you included in RESIDE magazine. But if I had to distill you down to one thing that you have to do while you're in Miami during Art Basel, what would that one thing be?
That's a tough question. That's a really tough question because I just basically stopped working for those 3 or 4 days and just kind of really try to schedule myself to be able to go to as much as possible because it's really, it starts, early in the morning and it goes through by the time you're done with events and parties and, exhibits. I love Milo's on South Beach. I love going there, and it's a great vibe. It's beautiful people. I also love going to Casa Tua. There's a lot of energy there. It's a beautiful, small little boutique place. They have a private club upstairs. So I like going to those two. And you always meet people, but you really never know where you're going to end, because it's just so busy that some days you just don't eat or end up anywhere except home.
Well, that's the beauty of an event like this, and especially when it's in a place like Miami, such a global city with so many options. Thank you so much for spending the time with me to talk about Art Basel. And for everyone listening, if you need any more information about the event or any more ideas if you're visiting, be sure to check out Mai's piece in RESIDE magazine.
Well, thank you so much, and I hope to see everyone here.
Thank you again to Jessica, Tom, and Mai for joining me today and being a part of podcast number 1. Thanks also to Stephen Connolly, our editor behind the board, and all of you for listening. If you're craving more of RESIDE, visit sothebysrealty.com/reside for more from this and past issues. Until next time.